ሰላም ሰላም እንዴት ናችሁ የቻናላችን ቤተሰቦች እንደምን ቆያችሁ? እንደሚታወቀው በባለፈው ቪዲዮአችን ላይ ከተለያዩ ግቢ የተውጣጡ ጥያቄዎችን እየሰራን ነበር። ዛሬ ደግሞ ክሪቲካል ቲንኪንግ ዩኒት 2 ከዛ የተውጣጡ የፋይናል ጥያቄዎችን የምንሰራላችሁ ይሆናል። ስለዚህ ለቻናላችን አዲስ የሆናችሁ ቻናላችንን ሰብስክራይብ ማድረግ እንዳትረሱ፣ እንዲሁም ቪዲዮአችን ከተመቻችሁ ሼር፣ ኮፒ ሊንክ፣ ላይክ ኤንድ ኮመንት ማድረግ እንዳይረሳ። በተጨማሪ ደግሞ ዛሬ የምሰራበትንም ፓወርፖይንት ሆነ ፒዲኤፍ እና ተጨማሪ ጥያቄዎችን እናም ደግሞ ለፍሬሽማን ኮርስ የሚጠቅሙ የተለያዩ ማቴሪያሎችን ማግኘት ከፈለጋችሁ በዩቲዩብ ቻናላችን ዲስክሪፕሽን ቦክስ ላይ የተቀመጠላችሁን የቴሌግራም ቻናላችንን ሊንክ ጆይን በማድረግ የአገልግሎቱ ተጠቃሚ መሆን ትችላላችሁ። ስለዚህ አሁን ወደ ቪዲዮ እንሄዳለን። ነምበር 1 Which of the following best defines sensation in context of physiological process? A. Sensation is a process of organizing sensory input into meaningful pattern. B. It is a process of detecting stimuli through sensory organ. C. It is a process of interpreting sensory data. D. It is a process of ignoring relevant stimulus. So, which deals about sensation in context of physiological process? So, from the list of choice, the correct answer will be B. It is a process of detecting stimulus through sensory organ. B is the correct answer. Okay, number 2. What is the primary difference between sensation and perception? A. Sensation is a passive process while perception is an active. B. Sensation involves organizing sensory input while perception detecting stimuli. C. Perception occurs before sensation in the brain. D. Sensation is influenced by memory while perception is not. So which one of the following deals about the difference between sensation and perception? So sensation is a passive process while perception is active process. So this one is a correct answer. But B. Sensation involves organizing sensory stimulus. So this is not true because it is interchanged the place. If this deals about what? Perception. So A is the correct answer for this question. Number 3. What is meant by the absolute threshold in sensation? A. The minimum intensity of stimulus required to notice difference. B. It is the maximum intensity of stimulus a person can tolerate. C. The minimum level of stimulation that can be detected 50% of time. D. The ability to perceive the stimulus in the presence of distraction. So the correct answer which deals about this thing is called C. It is the minimum level of stimulation that can be detected 15% of time. Number 4. According to Weber law, how does the just noticeable difference for a stimulus related to its intensity? A just noticeable difference is directly proportional to the original stimulus intensity. B. The just noticeable difference is inversely proportional to original stimulus intensity. C. The just noticeable difference remains constant across all stimulus intensity. D. The just noticeable difference is not affected by the intensity of stimulus. So the correct answer which deals about this question is A. The just noticeable difference is directly proportional to the original stimulus intensity. So A is the correct answer. Number 5. Which phenomenon explain why you stop noticing a constant sound after prolonged exposure? የትኛው ፌኖሜና ነው አንድን የሚያስጠላ የሆነ ስቲሙለስ አለ ያንን ስቲሙለስ ፕሮሎንግድ ወይም ሎንግ በሆነ ራን ውስጥ ኤክስፖዝድ ስንሆን ለዛ ስቲሙለስ አዳፕቴሽን እያሳየን ለዛ ስቲሙለስ ሪስፖንስ መስጠት ስናቆም ምን ይባላል ነው? A. Sensory adaptation. B. Perceptual constancy. C. Selective attention. D. Sensory threshold. So the correct answer will be A. Sensory adaptation. Number 6. What is selective perception and how does it influence attention? A. It is a process of detecting all stimuli equally and influencing perception of details. B. The tendency to focus on certain selected stimuli while ignoring others. C. The ability to pay attention to all sensory input without bias. D. The process of organizing sensory input into cohesive experience. So, how does selective perception and it influence attention? So, selective perception is a process of or a ability to focus on certain stimulus while ignoring others. So, the correct answer will be B ይሆናል ማለት ነው። Number 7. How does attention shift during an activity? According to the concept of focus and margin. A. Attention is fixed and does not shift throughout an activity. B. Focus on stimuli change constantly and peripheral stimulus enter the margin of attention. C. All stimuli are equally focused on throughout an activity. D. Attention shift only during moment of significant emotional reaction. So the correct answer for this question will be B. Focus on stimuli changes constantly and peripheral stimuli enter the margin of attention. So B is the correct answer for this question. Number 8. Which of the following external factor influence attention according to text? So you can check on your freshman course module and which one is factor which affect the attention externally. And there are two factors which affect attention, internal and external factor. From those external factor, which one is it? A. The time of day. B. The novelty of stimulus. C. The individual mood. D. The previous experience of the perceiver. So the correct answer will be B. The novelty of stimulus. Number 9. What does the concept of perceptual constancy refers to? A. The ability to detect the smallest change in stimulus. B. The ability to maintain the perception of an object as constant despite change in its appearance. C. The tendency to focus on the most intense stimuli in the environment. D. The inability to perceive stimuli outside a certain threshold. So the correct answer will be B. The ability to maintain the perception of an object as a constant despite changing its appearance. So B is the correct answer. Number 10. How does sensory adaptation contribute to survival? A. It allows us to focus on important stimuli while ignoring constant or relevant one. B. It enhances the perception of stimuli, even those that are relevant. C. It causes us to become more sensitive to stimuli after prolonged exposure. D. It helps us to detect change in stimuli more accurately. So, how does sensory adaptation contribute to survival? So, the correct answer from the list of choices is mainly deals about A. It allows us to focus on important stimuli while ignoring constant or relevant one. So A is the correct answer. ኦኬ ወደ 11ኛው ቪዲዮ ከማለፋችን በፊት ለቻናላችን አዲስ የሆናችሁ ቻናላችንን ሰብስክራይብ ማድረግ እንዳትረሱ። እንዲሁም ቪዲዮቻችን ከተመቻችሁ ኮፒ ሊንክ፣ ላይክ፣ ሼር ኤንድ ኮመንት ማድረግ እንዳይረሳ። በተጨማሪ ደግሞ ከተለያዩ ግቢ የተውጣጡ ጥያቄዎችን የምታገኙበት በፒዲኤፍ ፎርማትም በፓወርፖይንት ፎርማትም ሆነ ሌሎች ተጨማሪ የፍሬሽማን ኮርስ ማቴሪያሎችን ለማግኘት ከፈለጋችሁ በዩቱብ ቻነላችን ዲስክሪፕሽን ቦክስ ላይ የተቀመጠላችሁን የቴሌግራም ቻነላችንን ጆይን በማድረግ የአገልግሎቱ ተጠቃሚ መሆን ትችላላችሁ። አሁን ወደ ቀጣይ ፓርት እንሄዳለን። So number 11. How does perception involve the organization of sensation? A. Sensation provide raw data which is then organized by cognitive process to create meaningful experience. B. Sensation itself organizes the incoming stimuli into coherent pattern. C. Perception is a purely sensory process without cognitive involvement. D. Sensation involves organizing pattern without the involvement of perception. So what does perception involve in organization of sensation? So the correct answer for this question will be A. Sensation provide raw data which is then organized by cognitive process to create meaningful experience. So A is the correct answer. Number 12. What role does attention play in selective perception during a complex situation such as football game? እንዴት አቴንሽን በሴሌክቲቭ ፐርሰፕሽን ጊዜ እንዴት የአቴንሽንን ሮል ዲፋይን ልናደርግ እንችላለን ነው። A. Attention causes us to ignore the most important element and focus on the least relevant one. This is a negative word that does not deal about the question. B. Attention causes us to focus on the ball carrier while other stimulus became less prominent. So B is mainly deals about this question. C. Attention remains constant throughout the game with no shift in focus. This is not true. D. Attention allows us to remember every single stimulus during the game equally. This is also not true. So the correct answer will be B ይሆናል ማለት ነው። Number 13. What is the primary function of the difference threshold in the sensory process? A. To detect the minimum level of stimulus intensity that can be perceived. B. To detect the smallest detectable change in stimulus intensity. C. To measure the consistency of sensory detection over time. D. To determine the point at which sensory adaptation occurs. So, the correct answer for this question will be to detect smallest detectable change in stimulus intensity. B is the correct answer. Okay, number 14. Which of the following best explain the phenomena of focus and margin in the context of attention? A. Focus refers to stimuli that are ignored, while margin refers to stimuli that are noticed. B. Focus refers to stimuli that perceived vividly, while margin refers to stimuli that are only vaguely perceived. C. Focus refers to stimuli that cause shift attention, while margin refers to stimuli stay constant. D. Focus refers to sensory inputs that are in periphery of attention, and margin refers to input in the center. So the correct answer which deals about this question will be B. Number 15. How does the perception of depth occur in human visual system? Perception of depth occur in human visual system. A. Depth perception is a result of the process of sensory adaptation. B. Depth perception is based on cues such as relative size, texture, and binocular disparity. C. Depth perception is an innate ability and do not rely on sensory input. D. Depth perception is a function of selective attention. So the correct answer will be B. Depth perception is based on cue such as relative size, texture, and binocular disparity. B is the correct answer. Number 16. What is the role of brain in transforming sensory input into perceptual experience? A. The brain merely detects stimulus and passes the raw material to sensory organ. B. The brain organizes and interprets sensory input to form coherent perception. C. The brain exclusively focuses on the sensation of stimuli without involving perception. D. The brain eliminates sensory input that is relevant to perception. So the correct answer will be B. The brain organizes and interprets sensory input to form coherent perception. So B is the correct answer. Okay, number 17. Why do individuals experience sensory and perceptual difference? A. Sensory and perceptual difference are entirely genetic and unaffected by external factors. B. Sensory and perceptual difference result from variation in physiological structure of brain and sensory organ. C. Sensory and perceptual difference are solely influenced by individual bias and emotion. D. Sensory and perceptual difference are result of cultural conditioning. and personal preference. So the correct answer will be B. Number 18. How does sensory adaptation help us to prioritize important stimulus in our environment? Adaptation indeed በsensory adaptation በenvironment ውስጥ prioritize ይደረጋል። A. By making us to less aware of stimulus over time. No, this is not true. By causing A. Making us less aware of any stimulus over time. Yeah, sensory adaptation deals about this. It causes us to stop perceiving intense stimulus altogether. C. By reducing the perception of constant and changing stimulus, allowing us to focus on new or changing stimulus. D. By perceiving us from detecting stimulus that are too weak to notice. So the best answer which deals about this question will be C. Number 19. How does the concept of visual capture influence perception in ambiguous environment? A. Visual capture causes us to rely heavily on auditory stimulus and visual input. B. Visual capture occurs when vision dominates over the other sensory input, even in ambiguous situation. C. Capture explain why we ignore visual stimulus and focus on auditory information. D. Visual capture refers to inability of our brain to integrate sensory input seamlessly. So the correct answer will be B. Number 20, which is the last question of this topic. Which process is critical for distinguishing between sensory data and the meaning derived from it? A. Sensory adaptation. B. Perceptual organization. C. Absolute threshold. D. Difference threshold. So the correct answer would be D. Different threshold. Yeah, sorry. This question is deals about which process is critical for distinguishing between sensory data and meaning derived from it. So ይሄ ምንድነው? ክሪቲካል ነው distinguishing between sensory data እና meaning derived from it. This is also deals about perception. So sensory ዳታን ያገኝና sensory ዳታዎችን አጠራቅሞ ለዛ sensory ዳታ ዲፍረንስ የሚሰጥልን perceptual organization ነው ማለት ነው። sorry for the mistake that I done. So ስለዚህ የዛሬ ቪዲዮአችንን በዚህ እናበቃለን። በቀጣይ ቪዲዮ እስክንገናኝ ድረስ ለቻናላችን አዲስ የሆናችሁ ቻናላችንን ሰብስክራይብ ማድረግ እንዳትረሱ። እንዲሁም የተለያዩ ማቴሪያሎችን ለማግኘት ከፈለጋችሁ በዩቲዩብ ዲስክሪፕሽን ቦክስ ላይ የተቀመጠውን የቴሌግራም ቻናላችንን ጆይን በማድረግ የአገልግሎቱ ተጠቃሚ መሆን ትችላላችሁ። በቀጣይ ቪዲዮ እስክንገናኝ መልካም ቆይታ